Have you ever wanted to learn Kung Fu without leaving the comfort of your own home? Well, then have we got the game for you, everybody.
Well, I don't know if I've ever wanted to learn Kung Fu from the comfort of my own home, but now that you've brought it up, I say, why not? It sounds like a great idea.
So today we're bringing you a game called Ragdoll Kung Fu, and it is, oh man, it is definitely a weird yet incredibly fun game. I mean, it is absolutely mind-blowing for me, only because I used to be a real big fan of the old, like, martial arts movies, you know, like the bad dubs and everything, you know what I mean? The dub-overs and whatnot.
Yeah, those are classic, man. I love those types of old-school films like that.
Yeah. Oh, the old, like, Bruce Lee movies and all of the, I mean, the really old ones. I love them to death. There's some classic that always something special in my own heart. But this game kind of reminds me of that. Only because of... There's a few things to it. Like, there's bad voiceover dubbing that's purposely done. There is, like, you know, the snapping whenever someone throws a punch and whatnot. And even the cinematics that play during the game, it's like someone voiced over badly as a joke. And it's meant to be that way. And it's got, like, the old vintage filter with, like, the red screen over to look like an old movie. And it just, it hits both my funny bone and a special place in my heart. So
right. It looks like it has nice little touches like that add to the aesthetic appeal of it. You said it reminded you of that movie Enter the Fist, right? Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Kung Pao Enter the Fist, which another timeless movie that we won't have to go into too much on that, but it was meant to be like a dub over of a serious movie, and then they just made it into a comedy, and that's what this game kind of reminds me of, because when you think Ragdoll, I always think of, you know, the old, you know, browser style games where you just throw someone around and you get money for it and do other stuff with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
This game kind of reminds me of that, because you have to basically control this ragdoll that has like a glue feature, so if you move a limb it'll hold in place, or you can throw it through the air and you'll just watch it flop around and everything. It's kind of like that, but at the same time they incorporate fighting into it, which has a really unique feature. The little cursor on the screen. There's a really yin-yang cursor on the screen. I've been spinning it around rather fast because that generates chi. And the more chi you have, which is demonstrated by the little bar under the heads up above, is basically how hard you're going to hit, or what you can do. So if you have a full bar, and it goes away very quickly, then you can jump really stupid high, or you can hit really, really hard. But it also allows a few other things. For example, while you're generating chi, these little blips will appear around your bar, your cursor, and that is what allows you to strike. So it's also a balancing game between, you know, knowing where to position yourself and building chi and the little attack blips.
Right, so that looks really cool. Is there anything like janky about it? Is the gameplay pretty solid for the most part, or?
Yeah, actually, it's an old game. You mentioned in Brax that it came out it was the first third-party game that ever came out on Steam.
Absolutely,
So,
I think it was originally released in 2005. That's what I believe is correct.
It's definitely old, and I think they're still updating it as well.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Because in the menu, there's a few things that say "coming soon," so it's like, oh, that's cool. It has a little bit. I mean, I have some issues like the blocking. So whenever you come to the point of blocking attacks, you have to move the hand around, and it's like, oh, it'll give you like a little indication of where they're about to strike. So you got to move the hands and everything, and that's cool. It makes sense. But if you're off by even a little bit, the attack will kind of like come through your hand and hit you in the stomach or the head.
Gotcha. So is it sort of like a hitbox issue, maybe, or
just a slight one? But I mean, again, it's Ragdoll. What do you expect? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I'm not expecting perfection. Exactly.
Yeah, but it's definitely pretty close. It's definitely a great game for what it is, as far as like, you know, the Ragdoll and the physics go. I mean, you won't expect to. You throw yourself. So if you fling your mouse up really high while you're grabbing onto your character, which is how you throw them, you literally just grab them and throw them through the air. If you have a lot of chi generated, you'll throw it, like you'll just launch. But if you have just a little bit, you'll kind of lightly do it. It's just a really neat. It's pleasant. It's really pleasant to, even if you're not trying to fight during the game, it's fun to just kind of mess around with.
Sweet. So do you think this would be a fun game to play with your friends, or, you know, if we played this together, do you think we would have fun?
Oh, for sure. It actually has a multiplayer as well for that function. It has a local, and it also has an online mode. However, the game is old enough to where you actually have to manually go into your computer settings, to your firewall, and add the port directly to your machine to play online.
Okay.
So it's a bit finicky with the online, but it's great. I love it.
What type of game modes are there in the game? Like, do you just have Is there a campaign? Is it just arcade the entire time? What are we working with there?
Well, what you see is currently it's an actual this is more of the story mode. It's called story/training. That's kind of what it is. It's just the regular story mode. You'll come to different things. Oh, fight off some ninjas or go do this. And it's actually also allowing a hands-on tutorial that is actually incredibly effective, and it rewards you for being faster than the actual tutorial as well.
Right.
So there are other game modes for sure. There is one that is you're just fighting off an army of ninjas. In every single level, they add an extra ninja to fight off. So it gets to the point where you not only have to rely on keeping your chi up, blocking, and kicking some butt, it also comes down to the point where you actually have to be careful of what you're doing. You have to know, okay, well, I gotta position myself here. And they will, if you fly through the air, they will chase after you through the air. I mean, the AI is actually kind of smart too, so it's definitely difficult on this end alone. They do provide you with a few weapons, and another key feature that I probably should have mentioned before is that if you look on the ground, you'll notice that there are mushrooms. There's also butterflies flying around.
Mm-hmm.
There is a special meter that you have, which you can see under the heads above, where basically you eat these mushrooms, and you get the ability to, if you grab onto your person and pull them through the air, time gets all funky, and you can levitate really high up. You're eating actual magic mushrooms.
So, what kind of magic? It kind of sounds like these may be special mushrooms.
They're a bit special when they're growing in
the
wild.
Maybe he's a little high.
It's possible, but during which time, whenever you're under the effect of the mushrooms, which only incorporate when you're in the air, which is weird, you can catch special glowing butterflies. And these glowing butterflies will allow you to enter what is called the butterfly stance, which is where you spread your legs really far apart and you have to raise your hands up.
Right.
And your fists catch on fire. And you can
that's nice.
Attack the air, and if you do, you shoot balls of fire out of your hands.
Awesome.
So it's kind of got a neat little trick to that as well. And I don't know if there's anything more past that from what I was able to play, but that definitely is an incredible feature. Even during the story, they have you light beehives on fire with them because you're being attacked.
Well, hey, we've got flaming fists, we've got magic mushrooms, we've got an appeal to old school classic kung fu films. I love everything that I'm seeing right now. You spent more time playing this than I did for sure. Would you pay $10 for it?
It is. I would easily pay $10 for it. I think it is, for as old of a game as it is, but at the same time, being so much fun to play, so classic of a feel as well to the old browser games that I personally grew up with, that I'm sure half the world grew up with.
Yeah, totally.
It's definitely worth the $10. I would happily go 10. I might even go 15, but that might be the stretch, but 10 for sure I'd pay it easily.
Cool. I mean, I think I would pay 10 too. Or 10 also, not 10 too, because this seems like a game that really does never get old. It feels like it could stay relevant for a really long time, and you could come back, maybe you don't play it for a few weeks, but you could always come back and sit down for a few minutes and enjoy this, which I think is really cool.
It's a good time waster, but that's not the only key feature to this. Finally, at the end, which is what I really wanted to showcase, as along with the multiplayer and the minigames, there's even a soccer minigame that I managed to unlock, which has hidden unlockables throughout the levels. One of the nice key features of this game is that you can actually customize your own character.
Oh, yeah, let's definitely take a look at that, or tell me about it.
So, whenever you go online, you can actually edit yourself a character, and it has these slide menus to choose between arm types, neck, head, torso, and here I actually am making my own personal character. I gave him the lizard head, but I gave him his arms, the nice long fingernailed hands, a bony torso, really cool really long legs, and I gave him some amazing shoes. I don't know if you noticed that, but they are heels just for that extra.
Those are some nice kicks.
I know, right? Oh man, I mean, hard to move in, but man, you don't want to be on the receiving end of those.
Sonic, where you at? Where you at? Get your game up, Sonic.
But you can make up to 8, and there's also the custom user ones, and you can use the people that you use in the story, or you can use ones that I'm assuming you see later, or even, throughout the game while you're playing. It's definitely got a fun point of customization to it, and it helps when you're online. I think nothing does anything fancy, like the head won't allow you to spit venom, or the legs won't allow you to kick further. They're just for extra, derpage, I guess is a fun way to say it.
Right, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the long and short of this game. I definitely would recommend it to anybody. And I'm actually, when this video is done, I'm probably going to play it more.
Hey, I like to hear that. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to watch another one of Jeffers and I's videos, and we will see you guys next week. This has been Brax and
Jeffers.
we'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
See ya.